Blessings, everyone. I'm here in Flagstaff, Arizona, in the Coconino Forest, below the San Francisco peaks. I wanted to share with you my thoughts on meditation, the benefits of meditation, and some of the misnomers about meditation. Are we really creating something when we're meditating? Or are we uncreating the things that obstruct our already peace of mind? Are we already enlightened? And we just don't know it because we're trying to create an enlightened state. Some of the great masters of the past, Dogon, a Buddhist Zen master, pointed out that we are already enlightened, and that there are only things covering up that enlightened state of mind, that already peaceful, blissful state of mind. I mean, think about it. If that's the case, and we go to meditate, and we're creating something, that very creation itself won't last, because nothing created lasts forever. So, when we meditate, we reflect on the natural state of mind. We slow down, allow ourselves to get a break from all the distractions during the day that we have. And we begin to understand the inner workings of the mind, how it habituates itself in thought, how one thought leads to another and escalates until 10 minutes later we realize that we were so self-absorbed in that thought that we were not in this present moment. So, giving that time to meditate, we reflect upon the inner workings of the mind. Blessings, everyone, from the Coconino National Forest in Flagstaff, Arizona. Enjoying a nice walk in the forest, and I wanted to do a part 2 video of Are We Enlightened Already? And follow up on some elaborations. Is there actually a progression in achieving enlightenment? In the sense of reincarnation, are we progressing from one lifetime to one lifetime, accumulating wisdom and knowledge until we reach the final goal of enlightenment? I can't remember who said this. One of the great masters said, I think it was Monzo Rinpoche, that the mind is perfect, unstained, luminous, already enlightened. So are we progressing? Well, in one sense, yes. In one sense, no. And I'll give you an example from my understanding that I want to share. Say, for example, in a prior lifetime, through practice, a person managed to master their mind from hate, anger, fear, and practice kindness and compassion. In a future lifetime, they might possess these qualities of compassion and kindness naturally because they developed them in a prior lifetime. It's a natural inherent ability that they're born with. Okay. So perhaps in that, given that scenario where that person has those natural qualities, can they build upon them and progress towards the final goal of enlightenment, which is believe that there's no future rebirth into the life of samsara. Samsara meaning birth, sickness, old age, and death over and over again for countless eons to suffer. Is it a progression of stages or removing the things that cover up our true nature? Blessings, everyone. I'm making a part 3 of the new film series, Are We Already Enlightened? I'd like to talk about what is covering up that enlightenment. What veils us from seeing clearly? What are the obstacles? And is it a matter of removing those obstacles? It kind of makes me think of the saying, and I can't remember exactly how it goes, but something along the lines to see things as they are. So while on a hike yesterday, I was really contemplating that, because I'm on a journey just like everybody else, and I'm discovering and I'm sharing my current journey with you guys, to those that are interested. And thank you for your support in watching these films, by the way. It really helps me to share. So back to the subject. And I'll turn the camera around and let you see the beautiful Coconino National Forest as I'm walking. The grandfather trees here are huge. So seeing things as they are, and the obstacles that cover up our ability to see clearly, to experience our enlightened state per se, that is always there, that is only covered up. So the best analogy I can come up with, which was a neutral term, a neutral way of explaining it, was in the context of seeing things as they are. Okay, here it goes. Let me run this by you. Okay, you and your friends are hanging out at a local hangout. A stranger comes walking in that you guys have never seen before. And one of your friends leans over to you, kind of whispers, and says something about this person based on what he's seen on television, them depicting stereotypically. Your other friend leans to you and says something based on what his parents told him what people are like dislike, or what his parents he overheard saying about what people who look like this are like. Okay, and I think you guys understand where I'm headed with this. Okay? Now, a person who see things as they are can see through this veil of prejudices and stereotypes and conditioning. A person who sees things as they are sees this stranger who walks into the club and simply might say to themselves, I don't know who that person is, and recognize that they don't know who that person is. He might be wearing this, he might be wearing that, and might act like this, or whatever mannerisms, and we say, okay, I'm seeing things as they are. He wears this clothes, he acts like that. That's very simple, clear-cut, concise. He's seeing things as they are, without his prejudices, without his judgments, his labels that he used to compare. He sees clearly. So let me give you another example of a friend who doesn't see clearly yet, that's sitting at that table with a group of friends, but is on his way to seeing clearly. He'll think to himself, oh, that person is bad. Wait a minute, that's just a thought. I'm having this thought, and I know that it's just a thought. I know that it's just a prejudice. I know that it's just a label. So there you go. That recognition of you are labeling somebody, judging somebody, is a liberation from the conditioned mind to start it could be a practice. You can start recognizing how you judge people and recognize where it originated from your parents, from your school, from your friends, from the internet, whatever. So if we can clear ourselves from our preconceived ideas, from our labels, from our judgments, and see things as they simply are in the moment, this could be a way of clearing the obstacles, the veil, I call it, of forgetfulness, to realize who we are. So, are we enlightened already? You know, I don't even know if the Buddha could have explained what enlightenment was. He can only point at it and say what it is like, but he can never say what it is. So I think it's more experiential, but that's just my thought on it. So, are we enlightened? So thank you for watching, everybody, and I appreciate your support. Any comments that you have, feel free to do so. I'm going to keep this thing going and explore these possibilities, and any insights that you want to share, anything constructive in a diplomatic way, you know, would be very nice. So thank you. Bless you all. Until next time. Peace. Blessings, everyone, from the Coconino National Forest again in Flagstaff, Arizona. It's raining, kind of a misty rain. And I'm doing part 4 of the series, Are We Already Enlightened? The last series film I talked about seeing things clearly, seeing things as they are, seeing appearances and situations and things without the veil of prejudices or labels and such, clearing the mind and seeing things as they are. And I've been contemplating for the last couple of days critical thinking and discernment. And I've done a lot of research on the internet just to see what the meaning of it is. It's mostly related in that book, the Bible, and in the Webster's and Wikipedia. It is in 2 words: judge well. So I'll talk about that a little bit, and I'll turn the camera around and let you see the beautiful Coconino National Forest. So what is discernment? I've been doing a lot of thinking about that, and how can it be used as a tool for realizing our true nature, uncovering the things that block up our already awakened, enlightened mind. So I realized what discernment is checking the known facts on both ends of the scales, both on debunking and validating, and then coming up with an educated decision based on that. And what I came to realize was I related it to what the way the Buddha taught. And he taught to not believe anything at face value. He specifically taught, in one context, discernment. He said, do not believe a single word I say unless it agrees with your own good judgment. He did not care if his disciples believed him or not. He wanted them to use their own mind to question what he was saying. That was his whole point. And the Buddha, by the way, almost did not teach after he became enlightened under the Bodhi tree. He realized people might make him into a god or believe in him. Or worse yet, make what he taught into concepts. So he went into the forest after his enlightenment, and a Brahmin, a sage, approached him and recognized that he was enlightened. And he said, "Hey, why don't you at least teach people methods and practices so they can come to their own realization? So they can work on themselves and awaken their own selves instead of making it into a concept or something to believe in." So, in that context, we should question everything that we've been taught in a gentle manner towards ourselves, not in a critical, negative way, but in a gentle manner. And this self-questioning, this introspection, eliminate some of the obscurations, the obstacles which cover up our already peaceful mind, our already blissful state, our enlightenment that's always there, that can't be created because it's already there. It can't be fabricated because it's already there. So, discernment, critical thinking works well in solitude because you find your true companion in solitude without distractions. You look inside yourself and not think of terms of relating to what other people's ideas are, but that non-distraction of solitude is really helpful in finding your own answers. So whenever we have a thought arises about a situation, we should examine it and think, is this something that I was taught but never questioned? And even in school these days, as we know, we're taught 5 times more than we're able to comprehend. So we don't have time to understand the mechanics of things. We only have time to memorize the answers to the questions so we can pass the test. And later on in life, we're so conditioned in this way that we don't question things. We're conditioned that way through schooling. So, are we already enlightened? You know, honestly, I don't know what enlightenment is, and I don't think anybody can tell you what it is because it's beyond concepts. But I'm starting to recognize what enlightenment is not. And those are the things that I'm uncovering. This is the discovery, this is the journey that I'm on. And I'm doing this for myself by sharing this. It helps me to articulate. And if anybody else comes across this, may they also benefit too. But I would say question even what I'm saying. Not in the sense that I'm wrong or right, or being critical, but question the validity of what I'm saying. So you can train your mind for discernment and critical thinking. So, bottom line, what is discernment? Discernment is to judge well. Judging well on doing research on the validity of information presented from the past and now. And at least you would have used your mind, you would have looked at both ends of the evidence and then made a decision based on that. That's a rational, discerning mind. So, once again, from the Coconino National Forest, I send blessings to all and much love. Peace. Until next time.